Don't envy anyone or condemn anyone. For condemnation is judgment, and judgment is a sympathy of your imagination. With what judgment you judge, you will be judged and fulfill. You will always find people eager to question what you think of this one or that one. I am quite sure if we all traced our ancestry back far enough, we would find hippies. He put hippies on here. Murderers and thieves recorded there. The hippies are next to murderers and thieves. In the beginning, no one was born a king. Someone had to feel that position and take it by force. You don't have to go back and change anyone or anything, but envy no one. If someone wants 1,000 or 100,000 acres, let him have them. If you would like to live in a lovely apartment, claim you do. You may think you can't afford the one you want, but that thought is an imaginal act. I would suggest, instead of thinking you can't afford it, to simply sleep in that apartment tonight mentally, accepting the fact that you have all the funds necessary to pay for it. Persist, and the world will respond. You will get the money needed to live there. The world does not cause, it only responds to your imaginal acts. For only God acts, and God is in you as your own wonderful human imagination. Now, before you judge it, try it. If you do, you cannot fail. And when you prove imagination in the testing, share the good news with your brothers. Tell everyone you meet how the world works. You do not have to have a proper educational or social background to apply this principle, and you cannot fail, for an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. When you know what you want, assume you have it. Believe your assumption is true. Look at your world mentally and see your fulfilled desire. Do this, and you are calling forth a response to your thoughts. And in the not distant future, you will find yourself physically occupying the state imagined. Now, after you realize your desire, don't go back to sleep and hold on to this dream that is now solidly real, while trying to project a desire through secular means. We are warned against doing this in the parable of the rich fool, who said, I have all that it takes, more than enough. I will pull down my barns and build bigger ones to store my grain and my goods. Then I will take my ease, eat, and be merry. But the Lord said to him, Fool, this night your soul is required of you. Don't hold on to anything on the outside. Hold on only in your imagination. If something is taken from you, it is because at one time you assumed its loss, and for a moment wondered what you would do if it were. You forgot the thought, but its message had already been released to fulfill itself. If you want to keep your possessions, you must hold on to them in your imagination, and not build barns to house them. That's interesting. This is a very interesting little segment. I was trying to think of a good equivalent, a good practical equivalent to this Fool and Barnes example here. I mean, in short, it's simply once you've manifested something, forgetting that your thoughts are creating. Like if Neville's brother, after having manifested getting the building for the business, had stopped imagining, they wouldn't have been successful. They wouldn't have become Goddard Enterprises. But he applied his imagination all the time in terms of his business endeavors. And, you know, to put it practically, for a relationship, once you've manifested getting married or just them coming back into your life, if you forget that and start falling back into your old insecurities or thoughts of them leaving, then you will manifest that. If you're making that your dominant state and forgetting that your thoughts are creating. Or, you know, if you get the job you want and then you start thinking they're going to fire me, that'll happen. And recently we read a lecture where Neville gave the example of someone who imagined for their friend who was worried about losing their job. Okay.